All right, well, we'll go ahead and get started today. We welcome, there's several of you on Zoom and there's several in the audience. We welcome you to, this is probably going to be the last symposium of the spring semester. It's been an interesting semester. And we do have, I think, I know two really good presentations about our internship students. And again, I want to take a moment. If anybody's interested in an internship, please talk to your faculty advisor or a faculty member. It's a great experience. Employers look so favorably on it, for building your resume. So let's go ahead and get started. We do have 2 students that completed internships this semester. Okay, it may be some, well, let's see. Make sure, they were saying there's some back sound coming in the room. So those of you on Zoom, please make sure that you are muted. So to be sure and do that. But getting back to internships, they are a great experience. And these 2 are going to be really interesting. We have Chris Billings, who will be presenting a traditional internship. He went into the office, has worked face-to-face with his supervisor. And then we also have a first-time ever virtual internship. So that will be interesting to hear about. So I'm going to go ahead and let Chris get started. Chris is a senior marketing major, and he has been completing a marketing internship with one of the local businesses in Princeton, the insurance store. So Chris, I'll go ahead and let you get started.
Thank you so much. Well, good morning, everybody. Like Dr. Robinette was saying, my name is Christopher Billings. I am a marketing major, and I will be graduating in the fall. This semester, I had the pleasure of interning with Rick Allen over at the insurance store. It was a really fulfilling experience. I learned a lot. But first, just a little bit of history and background. Hold on, it's not working here.
You have to use the side screen on the right.
Like to click through it? Okay.
I think you just
Right, okay. All right. All right. So some history and background about the insurance store. It was founded in 1998 by Rick Allen and Dennis Thompson. They were former employees of Prudential, and after some changes to the company, they decided to start their own independent insurance brokerage. And the difference between an independent insurance brokerage and a captive one is you can just about sell to whoever you want or for whoever you want. So for example, if you're captive under State Farm, you can only sell State Farm home, auto, business, life insurance. Their State Farm products, that's the only thing you can sell. But with an independent insurance brokerage, you join a strategic insurance agency alliance, and essentially you can make specific separate contracts with different insurance companies. So it's really fitting for, dealing with clients. You don't have to sell them something that they don't need. If a client needs something that only Progressive offers, well, you sell them something that's held by Progressive. And
I need to just interrupt you. We forgot to share your screen.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that.
No, yeah, it's all right. Yeah, right there. Probably be best.
Is that the right one?
Yeah, that should be it.
Okay.
Can everybody see my screen on Zoom?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay. So, just a little bit about my mentor, Rick. He has 37 years total experience in financial advising, 25 with Prudential and 12 just independent with various life insurance companies like F&G and American National. He's a registered investment advisor, which is the equivalent of getting your Series 65, but it's state regulated. It gives you the ability to buy and sell securities like stocks, bonds, He's also super involved in the community. He is a member of the Rotary Club, and he is very involved down at Amy's house, which is a food bank on Mercer Street. So really great guy. I met him through church. Just really awesome dude. So my duties at the insurance store was maintaining customer relations management through various marketing softwares. The two main ones that I got a chance to use were Juicebox, which is it's a life insurance based CRM software. So essentially you would get leads through a pipeline, and as you deal with the potential prospects, you move them through the various stages of contact and presenting to them and so on and so forth. And I also used Aweber, which is an email marketing software. The leads that we would get through Juicebox, I would have to take their information that they gave us and put them on our subscription list. And whenever we wanted to send out an email, I would make an email to promote some events coming up and send it to our emailing list. I also worked on rebranding services and creating scripts for future promotions. One of my favorite rebrands was the rebrand that we did for our Child Asset Builder. And in short, the Child Asset Builder is an investment account for your child that you put on them when they're 1 to 2 years old. And because they have 20 extra years of compound interest, you're able to only pay a low monthly payment of, I think it's $50 a month for 20 years. And eventually it sets your child up to where they have a tax-free retirement where they will never run out of money. Really great product, but the problem with it is no one wants to think of their child as a commodity for investment, So we decided to rebrand it as the Building Blocks Retirement Plan, just because every foundation is built with building blocks. It's a really, really cool thing. I had to get in there with a PDF editor and do some graphic design stuff. It was harder than it looks and sounds, but it was really, really cool to be a part of that. And just, writing up some pitches for our tax-free retirement account. I got kind of inspired by this guy on TikTok. His name's Curtis Ray, and he sells a similar product, Index Universal Life. And he makes it so easy to understand with these minute-long videos. So I got in, made a couple scripts, just ways of using stuff that I used in advertising, brand promotion, and hopefully we'll get some of those filmed over the summer and put them on our Facebook for people to see. One of my most important duties was lead generation, just getting down in the dirt, looking for people to, contact, see if we can help them out. One of the things that I did was just traditional bring business owners coffee and donuts, introduce ourselves. One business, I had to wake up at 7 a.m. and drive through a snowstorm to get to, but it was really interesting to see how this job and sales just keeps you on your feet. And another thing, we also set up breakfast at Mitchell Stadium, invited a ton of business owners to come in, and got in contact with a lot of wonderful people. Just getting to know the various job creators in our community, and just getting to connect with them was really, really, really awesome. So my experience that I gained through this internship, obviously a lot of marketing and sales experience. Cold calling and lead generation is such a valuable thing to have and to experience if you're going to go into a job like sales. It's a lot of hard work, and it's a lot of falling down, but if you can pick yourself back up and get through just the muck and the mire of talking to people that might not want to talk to you, it's a wonderful skill to have, as well as social engineering. We learn a lot in sales about the gatekeeper and how to get past the secretary or whoever takes the calls of the business to get to the decision maker. So that takes a lot of just on the spot, building trust and trying to get information like their email or their name, just to get past them and be able to talk to the actual owner of the business. I also got a lot of experience with financial based stuff, investment tools like learning how 401ks work and the difference between a Roth IRA versus our IUL based TFRA account, as well as money management strategies. One of the biggest components to making our products work is a concept called arbitrage. And in short, it's just using other people's assets and making profit off of the difference. In short, why would you spend your own money when you can spend someone else's and get a low interest rate on it because you already have the money, and then just invest the money you have and make a profit off of the percentage difference? It's a really interesting thing, and it's life-changing to be able to know all of this stuff, all of these ways to manage your money, and it's just really cool. Networking opportunities. Like I said, being able to call these businesses up, I just got to meet a lot of really good people, especially Rick's business partner, Danny Raspberry. He owns an independent marketing organization called the Raspberry Producer Group down in Laurel, Mississippi. Really great guy. He teaches hundreds of life insurance agents all across the country. His family is instrumental in producing a HGTV show called Hometown. It has 6 million viewers weekly. Really, really interesting guy. Got to meet him on the last day when we had our breakfast at Mitchell Stadium. It was just really, really enriching to get to meet people that could give me opportunities in the future should I choose to pursue this career path. So some key takeaways. Number one, it's okay to fail. I think it was Mike Tyson that said everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. And although I wasn't physically fighting anyone, there's a lot of things that you learn in college, but you don't really get the experience of applying that knowledge until you get into something like an internship. College doesn't really give you the experience of calling someone and then they cuss you out because you're an unsolicited telemarketer to them. You're never going to learn until you have to fail and pick yourself up off of the ground to, actually retain the knowledge that you've basically learned. I think the biggest difference between knowledge and wisdom is that wisdom is knowing how to apply the knowledge that you've gained. A second one is sales is a universal skill. If you're not selling a product or service, you're definitely selling yourself. That's one thing that I've learned. And a lot of the techniques that I was trained, it's stuff that you see a lot in just everyday life. When you go to the doctor comes in a timely manner, and instead of just throwing you on a random prescription, they ask you questions to diagnose your problem. And in the same way in sales, why would you want to sell something to someone that doesn't need your product? Or better yet, lawyers, they always build a case for the crime that you've been accused of, not a crime that has nothing to do with what you're going through. In the same way, why would you, if you're trying to sell to someone that does need your product, you need to cater to their needs and not sell them something that doesn't pertain to what they're going through. And the third takeaway that I got was ABC, always be connecting. I'm sure we've seen the Alec Baldwin scene from Glengarry Glen Ross where he says, always be closing. Well, that's fine and dandy, but what do you do after the sale? How do we let our clients know that we're there for them even after we've gotten our commission and we go home? So it's really important just in any aspect of business to always treat your customers and your clients with respect after they've become your customers and clients. And that's one thing that really came into play with us. I remember calling a guy and he wasn't interested in our product, but he wanted to talk about a different type of insurance, just general liability for his HVAC company. So after calling him 6 or 7 different times and getting no response, he randomly called me back and said, hey, I finally got some time. I was super busy. And one of the reasons we got his business was because we still wanted to talk to him even when we weren't sure if he was going to answer the phone. So just that persistent professionalism it just can make or break your skill set and your perception as a salesman. So that's all I have. I'm pleased to announce I will continue to be working for the insurance store over the summer and into the fall. So if you would like a quote or just want to talk about some financial tools that might be able to lead you to freedom, just give me a shout. I'm easy to reach and hard to bother. Thank you.
I guess before we go to the next one, does anyone on Zoom or in the classroom have any questions for Chris about his internship? No questions? Okay. Well, let me get back on here.
Great job, Chris.
Thank you.
Great job.
All right, thank you. All right, Roland, and if I've got it set up, you can share your screen if you have a PowerPoint.
Yeah.
And I will go ahead, might have Roland say hello, so he'll jump to the top of your Zoom. But our second intern is Roland Jaworski. He is you're still a junior, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Junior management major. And as I mentioned, his, can you guys see the screen? You on Zoom see the screen okay?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. As I mentioned, his is taking on one of the new ways of doing business. It has been a virtual internship. So I'll go ahead and let Roland get started. It's great to have you here. Go ahead, Roland.
Yeah, thank you guys. So like Dr. Robinette said, my name is Roland. I am a business management major, and for my internship, I interned with Wisdom Gaming Group. So before we get started, I'd like to just have a brief outline of what I'm going to be talking about. First, it'll just be a bit of background information on Wisdom as a company. Then we'll get into some of the brands that are under Wisdom. And then we can get into how I got my internship, and then some of the lessons and responsibilities that I had.
Hey, Roland.
Yes.
Before you go further, you're sharing the wrong screen that's available. Can you switch off and, I think it's screen 2.
Okay.
We can see it in here. No, we can't.
It needs to be shared on our screen too. Somehow. Try to see if we can.
No, you're there. Let me see if I can move our screen over.
Yeah, I think I have it working on my end.
There we go. There we go.
All right. Can everyone on Zoom see the PowerPoint?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, now we can. Again, we're learning all this technology too. So, okay, sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. So yeah, like I was saying, this is just a bit of background on Wisdom. So it was founded in 2017. Back then it was just a couple of people, and now I think we're up to about 50 employees. They're headquartered in Minneapolis, and like Dr. Robinette said, I've done this all remotely since about the end of May. So almost coming up on a full year I've been working, just doing everything online. And it's been a pretty seamless transition. I've enjoyed just being able to work from the comfort of home and still be able to contribute to the company. So there's 3 main segments of Wisdom. So there's digital marketing, esports marketing, and then event production. So digital marketing is similar to a typical marketing agency where you have outside clients that want to expand on social media and just be able to maximize their presence online. Then there's the esports marketing section and just esports in general. Esports, to put it very generally, is video games that has become a huge market all around the world and one of the most booming industries that is occurring right now. And so what Wisdom does is they organize tournaments and even for some of their brands, produce some of their own content and have their own teams. And then finally, there's event production where the Wisdom staff can be contracted out to produce some esports productions. Finally, the CEO is Mike Zweigbaum. He's been super awesome to work with, one of the most stand-up guys. I know I have some other coworkers in here, my friends Aiden and James and Jake. Really, Wisdom has been a real honor to work for. Everyone is really passionate about what they do, and I really couldn't imagine myself anywhere else. So now we'll get into some of the brands that Wisdom has. So like I said, they have the Wisdom digital team, which does a lot of the typical marketing agency things. Next, we have Giant Slayer, which is one of their tournament organizers. So they have a bunch of different games that they oversee. There's League of Legends, Legends of Runeterra, Teamfight Tactics, Valorant. The list goes on, and they've built up a really, really big following for each of those platforms. I think they have over probably 50,000 followers combined. Then we have Heroes Hearth, which is actually Wisdom's own league, where they have, I think, 8 teams that participate. It's been very successful. I know they're on their 2nd season, and it's been looking really, really strong. Next, we have Alpine Esports, which is their Rocket League team. They're a top 8 team in the entire world. It's really awesome to be on the inside and see how that all operates. And the guys are really successful on social media as well. I think they have over 70,000 followers on TikTok, over 1 million likes, and being able to get a lot of the knowledge that they have has been super helpful along the way. And then finally, we have Gold Rush, which is another tournament organizer, and they do a bunch of Rocket League tournaments, and that's also been booming as well. So now I'd like to get into how I got my internship, and it actually all started here at Concord. So around May of my freshman year, I got a job working IT, and that was at the same time that Concord launched their esports program. So esports and IT kind of go hand in hand. I got connected with the former director of that program, Jake Neerland, and we began working on just setting up that facility and setting up the whole program for success. And so once he left Concord and joined Wisdom, he asked if I would want to help him out on a project. I said absolutely, because it was right after the end of the semester, and right when COVID started. I had nothing better to do. So getting my hands dirty and trying to get into the field I was passionate about was a no-brainer for me. I think that decision was easy for Jake to reach out to me because of my past work experience with him, and the connections I've made and the ability to fill the void that they were looking for to someone take on this project. So like I said, I was part of the esports program. Starting about January of 2020, I was coaching one of their teams. So I understood the collegiate esports scene pretty well. The CCL that you see is the Collegiate Call of Duty League. And being able to see how a collegiate league and collegiate esports operates was a huge benefit to this big project that they wanted me to work on. So being able to use that past knowledge and everything that I learned at Concord, not only in class, but through the esports program, really helped me to establish myself and get the ball rolling on this project. So that project was the Collegiate Valorant Tournament Series that you see, and that eventually led me to get this community manager internship. So what this Collegiate Valorant Tournament Series is a series of tournaments for collegiate esports programs where they would compete in this game called Valorant. It'd be like a full-on production, live streamed and everything. but it was something very new that you saw in collegiate esports and esports as a whole, because Valorant was a very new game at the time. Nobody really had experience with having a tournament bracket, anything like that for Valorant. So my job originally was to just research and contact a bunch of collegiate programs, see if they would be interested in getting this organized and seeing where we could go from there. So I think I researched over like 120 schools and having to create copy letters and basically just trying to sell them on, hey, this is a tournament that we're wanting to put on. Here's the dates, the prize money, where it's going to be live streamed, everything like that. That was like the big project and main responsibility that I had to take on. So once we finally had all those teams together, I think at the end it was around 32 teams, ranking from some of the very top talent in esports as a whole to a bunch of other collegiate programs all around the country. We even had some in Canada. It was a really awesome experience to be able to connect with all those guys. And I still maintain relationships with some of the people that I contact today. So after I got all that information, it was time to actually organize the tournament and brackets and all the matches. So my supervisor at the time, me and him collaborated on what this tournament style would look like and basically building it from the ground up, making sure that it was operating smoothly, making sure that we had the on-air talent to support the matches, and just making sure that all this effort was going to lead to a big success. So once that was actually set up, some of the other jobs that I had and responsibilities were just interacting with the live stream chat during matches, making sure that we were engaging the viewers and making sure that the watch time was sufficient, making sure that, like I said, all of this was paying off, and then highlighting, clipping the tournament highlights for use for YouTube videos or social media clips to, again, gather engagement, and then also using it for the Giant Slayer TikTok. That is something that I established back in June of 2020. And we used it, like I said, to just take those highlights from these events and put them out on the internet, so that, we could gain a presence on TikTok, because at the time, TikTok was still relatively new. None of Wisdom's brands were on the platform as well. So it was a great way to segue into a new platform and get some really high quality and engaging content on the platform. So after those tournaments ended, which was about September, we transitioned my position from just community managing to social media managing as well. So what that looked like was creating weekly tweets for these upcoming tournaments, which would include just getting all the lobby information together, making sure all the players were ready, creating the actual tweet itself with the content, all the players' names, finding the information for casters, and then the Twitch link as well, and then finding corresponding media to tweets. So that's what you see on the right side of your screen. We use GIFs a lot to really just attract the attention of the viewer. We learned that you find a lot more success on social media, especially on Twitter, when you include an image or some sort of media instead of just a big block of text. So using some sort of like really like active, bright, flashy image to draw the attention of your followers was something that we saw was really successful. Another responsibility that I had was just editing, sort of just like in a journalistic setting where we'd have writers write blogs about these tournaments or predictions that they had, and then I would go in and make sure that the content is correct, the grammar is correct, and making sure that those are ready for publish. And like I said, again, continuing with that Giant Slayer TikTok, making sure that we were gathering clips from past events. I'm sure if you want to search on TikTok, you can see me doing some stupid stuff on there. But it was a really fun time. I really enjoyed TikTok and engaging with the community because it was super rewarding to see that people really like your content and that all that effort is paying off. I know that one of my most viewed ones has like over 100,000 views, which is super awesome to see that people are actually enjoying and engaging in my content. So now we'll go into the key takeaways and what I learned from this internship. One of the most important things that I learned is just to schedule your social media posts. It seems kind of weird, on like your personal social media accounts, you really don't schedule content out. But on a professional and brand account, that's super important because people are expecting content always. So, for example, like on TikTok, they have a really cool analytic where you can see when your followers are most active. So I would use that all the time to see when they were most active, and that's when I would post so I could get the most views. And also on Twitter, I would post right before our tournament matches were live, making sure that everyone had the live stream link and everyone knew what was going on. So making sure that scheduling was down pat was super important just to maximize your engagement. Also knowing your target audience, that goes back to like the media as well. Making sure that you understand what the viewer wants is super important. And then keeping up with the trends. So like everyone sees this GIF about the weekend on the Super Bowl halftime show. I remember right when that happened, me and a couple coworkers saw that and we were like, we have to post this. Like it's going to do so well on TikTok. And I know they got like 200,000 views on it just because they were the first ones to hop on it. So I usually find myself just hopping on trends as fast as possible, going on the For You page or like the Discover page on TikTok and seeing what hashtags are popular. Like I said, again, just to increase your views and have the most engagement with your followers as possible. Again, communication, especially with a remote internship, was super important. Minnesota's in another time zone, so it was sort of difficult to be able to communicate when there's a little bit of a time difference, but just making sure that everyone's on the same page about what content is going out, what's needed from me at times, especially during organizing that tournament series, looking for what would do best and what schools were really interested. So communicating with those schools and communicating with the other Wisdom staff was something that I found super important, and it made everyone's lives easier. These last year were some advice that I found from the internship and things that I really took away from it. So the first thing is just doing something that you love. Like I said, I've been doing this job for almost a full year, and it was only supposed to last 3 months, but I wanted to stay on, so I really enjoyed what I was doing. I spent countless hours just doing more research, trying to better my content, just because it was something that I really enjoyed. And it really didn't feel like work at all, especially working with the people that I did. It was just super rewarding to be able to produce content that people enjoyed. And I could definitely just see myself doing that, as a career. Then the final piece is it's not about who you know or what you know, but it's about who knows what you know. Which everyone's heard, like the first part, it's not about who you know or it's about what you know. But especially in my circumstance, I don't think I get into this position without the help of Jake, like I said, who was the previous director of esports here. Being able to showcase my talent when he was at Concord really put me in a position to succeed, especially knowing that I'm a reliable source to be able to put in some good work. So that's what I've learned, especially just networking, connecting with people, and having them understand the caliber of work that you're creating, just so you can excel in the field. So that's all I have content-wise. I have a couple of the Twitters and social media of some of the Wisdom brands that you guys can check out. I want to highlight the Alpine Esports TikTok. They do some really awesome content on there. Like I said, over like 70,000 followers and over 1 million likes. Even if you're not into esports, they post some really funny content. And like I said, overall, I'm super proud to work with these group of guys and be able to represent Wisdom. So yeah, that's all I have. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. But thank you for your time.
As I say, fantastic job. It was a great presentation. And you're an influential person to have around and a great personality.
I think you're on mute, Dr. Robinette.
Our technology skills also. I was saying to the group here, based on both of our internship presenters, our department's going to have to get a TikTok. Our Facebook is a little outdated, so we'll might have to be getting out of our box and getting some advice from you all on doing some TikToks and so forth. Again, I just want to mention, I'm going to follow up with what Roland ended with, the networking part, and Chris mentioned also his networking part. It is, you know, both of these internships were part of students knowing someone, and again, they proved themselves with their knowledge and skills, and were able to be successful in that. So it is a great opportunity. I encourage students that are interested in doing an internship. You know, you can see me or your faculty advisor, somebody in the department. And this was two totally different internships. Roland, just how big is the Wisdom gaming group?
So like I said, it's grown from like 3 people in 2017 to over 50 people now. But the digital presence of Wisdom is absolutely insane. Like I said, there's probably hundreds of thousands of followers online that all watch their content.
Of course, it's a totally different type of sales group, but very similar. But Wisdom is growing more virtual in a specific gaming area. The insurance store is a successful, as Chris pointed out, a very successful business right here in Princeton. It's still fairly small. You have the 2 owners and what, about a 5-6 staff?
No, I think we have the 2 owners, Rick Allen and Dennis Thompson, and then we have Autumn, who usually works at the front.
Yeah.
And then Dennis's son, Bristol, he actually goes to Concord. He just sells auto from time to time.
So it's a very small business, very successful organization. So there's lots of different places. Sometimes people think you have to go with a big company. These are 2 examples of smaller industries that have been very successful, where you can get some really hands-on experience. So we look forward to that. So without if anybody has any other questions, if not, we're going to say thank you again, Chris and Roland, for your information. And good luck, everybody. 2 weeks of classes and a week of exams. It's almost there. So good luck with everybody, and have a wonderful Thursday. Thank you. Roland, thank you again.